We'll start off with the football as Tony Mepham has just entered the building. Good evening, Tony.
Hi, I just been having a sing-song downstairs, actually.
I believe so. January by Pilot, first ever song that you bought.
1976. I didn't realise it was that long. I was only a young boy then, but no, I think the boys downstairs quite like it, actually.
You're still young now, Meps. You're still young now. Right, okay. Attention, really, the big focus tomorrow is, I guess, the Keystone Law Hospital Cup quarter-finals. 4 matches going on here, and some intriguing ties. There's a couple of second-tier sides still involved, and I think we'll go with those first. I think one of these matches is probably more likely for an upset if there's going to be one, suggesting that would be Douglas Athletic against Moran.
Possibly. Been talking about it a little bit today with one or two at work, and I think certainly with Douglas Athletic, the way the scores have been going of late for them, yes, they've been conceding a few, but they've been scoring plenty as well. So they'll hopefully, I would think, themselves feel that they're strong enough to beat Moran. Moran, a bit Jekyll and Hyde at the moment because they lost in the Woods Cup, and then since then they've been a bit stop and start. Big defeat for them midweek, which could cost them dearly when it comes to the league being handed out at the end of the season, and also the promotion as well. So it's a tough one to ask. It's a tight pitch. The pitch is dry, which is good. I think all pitches at the moment are dry. So it should bode well for a good game of football. But I have to go for the Premiership side. I just think they're strong enough to beat Moran.
Malou, they've certainly got a tougher ask if they're going to do anything. They've faced Russian United, and Russian generally have been going pretty well in the top flight this season. Yeah,
Russian have, and they're looking for the combination title as well. I noticed on Wednesday when they played against Douglas Royal, which they won 4-2. There was one or two first teamers there eligible to play, which is good for them. They got a big game coming up next week. But when you look at Malou, and let's just hope it's not as lively as it was midweek, because that was a game and a half on Tuesday, and the after game as well was quite lively. So I would think Malou will be defensive. They have to be. They have to treat Russian with respect, and I think they'll just see one of the top sides from the Premier League. I think Liam Cowan has got pretty well clean bill of health. I think Jack Saxon might be on the bench, but Jemmy Johnson's fit again, scoring goals. Josh Kelly's in a good rich vein of form at the moment. Stevie Ryding's been pinging them in. So yeah, defensively they look strong with Adam Kajim back. But Malou, I don't know where they'll play Dean Kinley. He played in goal on Tuesday. You don't play your best player in goal, but for whatever reason, he's in there and he saved a penalty and actually won the point for them on Tuesday. So credit to him. But people like Kieran Crichton as well, Dale Walker there scoring goals, they'll have a go, but I just think they'll come unstuck and Russian will win.
They do have some goals in them, so let's see what happens in that one. The other two ties, first off, St John's, fresh from that thumping victory against Peel in the week in the league. They face St George's. Possibly here we could see. I mean, it's a tough game for the cup holders anyway for Geordies.
It is a tough game, but when you look, last Saturday at the Hospital Cup, what a result that was for Geordies against Peel. It was a real demolition job, wasn't it? Because they were 1-0 down, showed great character, finished up 5-1 winners, I think it was, and it could have been 6. Kieran McNulty put the ball into the back of the net, but it hit the stanchion inside, came back out, and it was really difficult from the referee's angle to see what had actually happened. And the assistant as well, you can't give what you're not 100% about, so that was chalked off, but it didn't matter, they got through. But Peel will be really disappointed with that, but I think that's put a mark down for St George's, that they're looking to try and win 3 trophies. They can't win the 4, but they can certainly have a go at the 3. The Railway Cup, we're getting closer. I thought I was going to get it on Wednesday, but unfortunately Peel come unstuck against St John's, and I think it's just one of them. You've just got to wait and see what happens with St John's. I know the 1 or 2 players short. I think Louis Morris is injured. I think they can cover that a little bit. But the one that I'd really want is Nick at the back. They need him, and he's not going to be available. So a bit more responsibility on the defence. And I know Eric Kelly's playing with a broken nose as well, which he picked up midweek. But with people like Johnny Holland and also Andrew Chadwick in midfield, they might be able to close them down. But I still think St George's will come out winners, even though great result for St John's midweek.
Yes, indeed, yeah. And finally, Corinthians, who have indeed already picked up 1 cup this season with that FA Cup win, they're away St Mary's back at the Bowl.
Yeah, back at the Bowl. I've watched them twice this year. They won one, and they've just got to try and, I think, just stay focused on it all, because The football midweek against Laxey was good. Dan Simpson was excellent. Sean Doyle picked up a bit of a knock. We'll wait and see how that is tomorrow, but he must be doubtful. So then it just means that Danny McMahon and Ben Qualtrough and June Watney possibly have to change things around. Now, I know Josh Riding's back, but I think it's a little bit early for Josh. The responsibility might be left with Ryan Burns, because Ryan can play anywhere. And Ryan looked sharp enough against Laxey, so, play him out of position maybe. But he's strong. He gets, he's good in the air, and that is very, very similar to Sean. Maybe he hasn't got that sweet left peg that Sean has got, but he can make a big difference. Defensively, Cameron Lee, Tom Smith, been playing really well. And then probably a little bit of a change will be Darryl Hazlitt will play left back instead of Darren Kane, who's struggling with injury. So, yeah, Corinthians looking strong, but St Mary's a good outfit as well. Stevie Priestle's in there. Alex Harrison, I don't know if his band's finished. So they need those players available. Jordan Cowan, Jordan Crawley up front, score goals. So, yeah, be a close one. It's on the day.
We'll take a bit more of a look at the league matches tomorrow, but there was just one in each division that I wanted to have a bit of a chat about now. The one that interests me, I think, in the Premier League tomorrow is at Peel. I mean, they've had those two successive heavy defeats, but the top three aren't in action tomorrow, so they do have the chance away to Colby to close that gap a bit.
Yeah, they do, and I don't know what's gone on. I believe there's a players' meeting after the game midweek, and hopefully try and sort out what's sort of drastically gone wrong in 4 days, was the defeat midweek in the league and the cup game the week before, because they thought they could beat Geordies. But Colby, if they lost, this all but sends them down mathematically. There's still a lot of work to do, but the other big one, I don't know if you're going to mention that one, is Braddon. Against Ramsey.
I was thinking we could do a bit more of an in-depth look on the league matches tomorrow. But yeah, I mean that one as well. That's key, isn't it, Braddon Ramsey?
Yeah, I think there'll be 22 starting players sleepless nights tonight, because this is a huge game for two sides. Are just clawing for every single point they can get. I thought it was a good performance midweek for Braddon. They only just lost against Old Boys, and that winner for Old Boys was scored in the last minute, so that could have been a huge point for them. But against Ramsey, good result for them. 7 of the players, first team players, played for the Cal Cup last night and beat St John's 5-2, 5-3. And they've just got to, I think, go out all guns blazing. Braddon, we'll wait and see what sort of team they've got out, but great game of prospect. What a lot at stake to survive in the Premiership. I know it's not all finished if one of them lost tomorrow, but to me, the teams that they've got to play after that is going to be really tough to get points off for either team. So tomorrow, a draw's no good to either. It's a win all round for both teams.
Win or bust, okay. Just a quick mention as well in this one in JCK Division 2, because again, one of these teams, I think at least one of them played in the week. Castletown have had a bit of a wobble. They lost last weekend and then they drew in midweek as well, didn't they? Yeah. So 5 points dropped in 2 matches. They'd be looking to get back on track tomorrow afternoon. But Bullrose United, 3rd place, and certainly no mugs and plenty of quality in the side.
Yeah, and unfortunately a little bit of quality deserted them on Tuesday, because it was 2-2. I don't know how long towards the end of the game they got a penalty, and what a huge goal that could have been. But Dean Kinley pulled off a great save, stopped it from going in, and Stevie Glover was really disappointed. So drop points there, and it was all round midweek. Division 2, it's as if no one wants to take the responsibility and say we're the favourites here, because Moran lost as well. Castletown sort of drew. Foxdale were the big advantage, where they scored 9 goals, and they're creeping up quietly.
And Onken did win that match against Castletown last weekend as well, so it's been tightening between those teams, hasn't it?
It's great. It's great to see, but when you look at the fixtures that the top clubs have got to play, they've all got to play each other, and I think Moran have probably got the toughest running, so it's all pressure, and the games can come through thick and fast now, because as they go out of cups, they can then play 2 league games per week, Tuesday and a Saturday. There's a lot of injuries kicking around at the moment, and it's a good job the grounds aren't hard, because I think the injury tally could have been even more.
Indeed, Tony. Right, well, as I said, we'll leave the football there for now.